Let me see. Anthem is BioWare's latest game, but fans of the studio's massive RPG like Mass Effect and Dragon Age will find very different experience waiting for them. Anthem is a loot shooter, which I was expecting. I was expecting more Borderlands, more Destiny. More akin to Destiny or The Division. See, here's what I don't like, is that Borderlands 3 hasn't come out yet, so the loot shooter genre is literally Destiny and The Division. Like, those are two horrible, horrible examples of the loot shooter genre, and I just don't like that. Anthem's differentiates itself from the competition with extensive use of a flying mechanic letting you zoom above the battlefield like Iron Man. Of course, it's the Iron Man simulator. It also lets you swap between classes more easily as your character is a pilot called a freelancer who can take control of various suit types at will. The problem with that is, well, you know what, I'm just going to read the full thing and then I'll just get to it. GameSpot gave it a 6 out of 10. Anthem has good ideas, but it struggles significantly with the execution. It's a co-op game that works best with no one talking. Really. It buries genuinely interesting character moments and puts its most incomprehensible story bits at the forefront. Yeah, that's true. Its combat is exciting until you get to the boss fights and find your wings have been clipped. Even the simple, exhilarating act of flying is frequently interrupted by limitations of your javelin, and you never quite shake that feeling of disappointment of knowing throughout the good parts of Anthem that you'll inevitably come crashing back down. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I don't like that about Anthem at the beginning of the game. At the beginning of the game. And even the middle of the game. Like, that's why I'm leveling up my javelin the best way I can. You can barely stay up in the air that long. For a machine-based device that is built for this, you would think they would extend it. Like, the flight time for some of the suits is ridiculously short. For this one, it is probably the shortest. I think the Interceptor has the shortest. No. The Colossus, which is basically the Hulkbuster. It's super short. Storm is the only one that can stay up in the air for like significant amounts of time at the beginning of the game. Towards the middle, when you finally start upgrading your javelin more, it's like, still, you have to touch the ground, like so very often. But that's what I like about Anthem at the same time, is specifically for this javelin. This one is the Ranger. The Ranger probably has some of the best mobility, where you can like dodge the most. So I like that. I think it's great. It makes it for very challenging combat, which is why I switched to this one, because Storm literally teleports all over the place, and that's kind of not the playstyle I wanted to play on my first playthrough. I don't want to just like breeze through it. It's got the highest attack, which lets you like kill enemies really, really fast, but it's got super low defense, so I've been dying a lot, so that's why I switched to this one. Let me see. Polygon, no score. BioWare has already done a lot of hard work. A satisfying, let's see, 10 seconds of playing. Let's see. A satisfying core gameplay loop is difficult to create, but the studio has managed. Playing makes me feel like a true sci-fi superhero 10 seconds at a time, but in order for Anthem to survive, BioWare will need to classify its identity and prioritize the right elements of it. I'd love for the story, the interface, the experience of playing Anthem to service that loop rather than fight it. Yeah, the game does. That's true. Like, playing the story is like, Games Radar gave it a 2.5 out of 5. But there's nowhere near enough of the stuff that makes BioWare games distinctly BioWare. See, they're judging it based off of it being a BioWare game instead of it being a game. Like, people expect it, because it's a BioWare game, to have all of these dialogue options and like this super deep story and stuff. Nah, they just wanted to make something where you go around and kill shit. I don't understand. Like, why are you judging it based off of Mass Effect? This is not Mass Effect. Like, that's the problem I have with a lot of these like reviews and stuff. It's just not, the reviews themselves are not very good. This game, I'd give this game a 7 out of 10. Easy. 7 out of 10, and it's fun. Like, that's what I like about it. It's ridiculously fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to play. It's fun to just shoot shit. It's fun to just fly around and do shit. Although, if you don't upgrade your javelin far enough, you're kind of stuck. Which, come to think of it, you can't upgrade while you're playing. So that's an issue. Like, a lot of the actual issues I have, none of these reviews touch on at all. They don't touch on the fact that you have to completely leave the level to modify your javelin at all. You have to completely leave the level to change your weapons, change your abilities, you know, deal with any of the mission things that you have. The leveling system is very odd because each weapon has its own level, each javelin has its own level, each character has their own level, everything has its own level except for you. I'm level 9 with a level 66 javelin. I'm common. I'm a common ranger with a default loadout. But my weapon is level 18, my second weapon is level 11, my gear bits, like my abilities, have their own levels. Why do they have their own levels? I don't know. That's stupid. The map is really dumb. Just the features on the map. I think the map, you can't zoom out any further than this, so you can't see the entire map in its entirety, so I think that's kind of bad. You can't mark anything on the map, so if you want to go to like a specific location, you can't mark a beacon, which is really dumb. The party system is hella stupid. I've only used it once. I don't like it. I don't like the party system at all. There's no typing. You can't type to anybody. There's no text. There's no text chat, which in a game like this, you would think, okay, needs a text chat. I have yet to figure out how to use the voice system. I have yet to figure that out, which is this. So I guess I have to turn this off. Push to talk. Like, I've yet to figure this out. So, because nobody uses a microphone. And I haven't run into any YouTubers or anybody who just has a microphone plugged in at all times, because I do. So I assume the people within proximity can hear me. I don't know if this game has proximity chat or not, which it would be great if it did, but I have no way of interacting with any of the other players. The button schemes and everything, kind of bad, because in order to emote, which I didn't know how to find the fucking emotes, because apparently you can move your character's head with the arrows, but you can emote with all these other buttons and shit. But there's only 3 emotes. I should at least have 4, up, down, left, and right. I'm confused by this. Everything in the game is very expensive, very grindy, which is not a bad thing, but it's also not very good at the same time, because when you kill enemies, they don't drop currency or anything. So you're kind of just killing shit until like the RNG is like at your what? Okay, AMC, I fell again. So hold on, let me kill this guy. There we go. Not a single drop of money or anything, and it's just really weird. So you're kind of just going around killing stuff just to kill stuff, and then you don't get anything out of it. But, you know, it's the most lucrative thing in the game, just going around and, like, looking for bushes and shit. Like, let me see if I can find something here. Let me just go through and not die. Let me just find some plants real quick. They don't do a very good job of, like, what traditional RPGs do that are based on levels. They don't level cap certain areas. You can't even see if you're gonna die or not in a specific area. I'm playing the game on hard just because I think it's intended to be played that way. Hold on. See, I can't even find any now. This is a horrible example of, like, trying to set an example. Let me see. And I'm already out of flight time. But there's, luckily enough, there's a cool mechanic, which is kind of cool, kind of stupid at the same time. When you're flying and your javelin starts to overheat, if you touch water, like a waterfall or something, it has to fall onto you. It instantly cools off your javelin, which I think is dope. I think that's a cool little feature. I wasn't trying to go into like a full-on review, but I guess this is kind of the best thing I can do right now. Hold on. Let's see if we're gonna go through here. Which, once again, the game is super pretty, but at its own detriment. Like, the random events are kind of lame. At least right now. I think the game just needs some like patches. Like, the game is great out of the box, but it could be so much better with like future updates and stuff. So let me see. I really can't find like a bush or something. Wow. Ah, here we go. So this is the only way that you can earn money and stuff. Just opening this and getting like chimeric alloy. Usually like some like ember will drop, and ember is kind of like this game's like main form of currency to upgrade stuff. So opening this, and there we go, I found one. So, you know, it's a little weird. Like the game itself just has like, it's confused. It feels like 3 different sets of teams made each portion of the game. Like there's a team that made the story, there's a team that made the gameplay, and there's a team that handled all the UI and everything else, and they kind of just jammed all 3 ideas together, and then poof, you made Anthem. Which isn't bad because the gameplay is great. Like if the gameplay was bad, oh my god, I would lose my shit. But you know what? I think the boys over at BioWare, I think they did a great job. So, you know, I think they did the best they could. They didn't really have much of a story. But then again, I have seen the ending of the story and stuff. There's more to the game. So what they're going to end up doing is they're going to continuously update and add more to the game for free that is based on the story. So the story is this, it's kind of like playing an MMO. Like when you're playing an MMO, there is no story. And the story that is there is literally you just helping characters that exist in that world. That's what this game is. This game is designed to be an MMO at heart. And it's just not doing that very well. So there's just certain things that I would personally like changed. And things that's just, you know, just shouldn't be in the game. So, you know, there's that. Now let me see what you guys are saying in the chat.